Hello, I'm Natalia and welcome to another edition of Fabulous Friday. Today I'm going to be making these fabulous gemstone encrusted bangles. To make these gemstone studded bangles, what you will need is one of our bangles, which are silver plated and come in two different finishes. One is smooth and one has a roped effect. You'll need some 0.8mm gauge wire in the silver colour. You'll need a pair of chain nose pliers and some wire cutters, and then what you'll need is any beads from your stash that you want to attach to your bangles, and the ones that are best are the ones that have some kind of flat surface on them rather than being perfectly round. So let's go and start embellishing our bangles. So I've cut off a length of wire that is about 3/4 meter from my 0.8mm gauge wire. And I'm going to take one of my gemstones, so I'm taking one of these rounds that is, it's like a button shape, so it's flatter. So thread your bead onto the centre of the wire, and then you want to make sure that the bead is on the outside, so the flat part is on the outside of your bangle. And taking one end of the wire, just take it down and just begin to wrap it quite tightly all the way around the bangle. And this one that has the rope effect is a lot easier because it tends to grab the wire. So you're just going to keep wrapping, and you can take your wire as far away from the edge of the bead as you would like. This really is up to you. You can make the wire very tidy, or you can do a messy kind of wrap with it. It's depending on the kind of style that you want. If you want to keep it quite tidy, then use your chain nose pliers just to butt the edges of the wire up against one another. And then once you've got as far away from the bead as you want to go, just begin to take the wire back. And remember, if you're keeping it tidy, then you'll want to make sure that your wire is neatly aligned. Each of the coils is aligned with one another. And when you get to the edge of your bead, you just want to take your wire upwards and bring your wire cutters and just trim the wire there. And use your flat nose or chain nose pliers just to make sure that the wire is pushed downwards, and just run your finger over it, make sure that it doesn't catch on your finger. And you're going to do exactly the same on the other side of the wire, so just taking the wire back towards you and then begin wrapping around your bangle. So once you've attached the first bead to your bangle, the next thing we need to do is to decide where the second bead's going to go. And we're putting 3 beads on here, so I'm going to take a green bead and I'm going to place it about there. And the third bead, I might have a slightly bigger bead, so this rose quartz, and I would place it there. So you just need to balance it out and make sure that they're evenly distributed. So for the second bead, you do exactly the same process. You're going to feed your bead onto the wire and make sure it's in the center, and then attach it in the same way. So once you've done that, you attach your third bead in exactly using the same process, and you have a really nicely balanced bracelet so that when you wear it on your wrist, one of the beads doesn't kind of tip it over with the weight of them, so it makes it align really beautifully on your wrist. You can use smaller beads that have unusual kind of shapes, and this is great. This is great for any beads that you just happen to have in your stash. As long as they've got a flat edge to them, these will work perfectly. So you can see I've used smaller ones here. And these are so great for stacking bangles, and I've used the smooth bangle here for this particular design. And then I have one more bangle to show you, and here I have used slightly bigger beads, and what I've done is I've actually wrapped the wire around the bead almost like a nest, so it gives it this really quite different appearance, and it sits within this kind of setting on the bangle. And even though those beads are quite big, because you've got the weight distribution of them being in threes, it gives a really nice feel on your wrist, and when you put them together, they actually all work beautifully. And you can see how it doesn't matter that the beads aren't matching, it doesn't matter that there's all kinds of different colours and different surface effects on the bangles, it just works beautifully. So I hope you've enjoyed this project and you've been inspired to make your own bangles studded with gemstones. All the components we've used in this video can be found by tapping the info symbol on the top right hand corner, or by visiting our website at beadhouse.co.uk. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our fabulous new videos.